One of our top stories this morning, Great Falls police officers searching for a suspect in an earlier incident fatally shot the man when he brandished a weapon. The shooting occurred yesterday morning on the east side of the city. Police Chief David Bowen said numerous officers were involved with the case. Officials have not yet released the man's name or any other information about why officers were looking for him. 41-year-old Andrew Hoskins is in the Missoula County Jail this morning on felony charges of sexual intercourse without consent and assault with permanent or life-threatening injury after allegedly attacking a woman he met on a dating website. Hoskins appeared in Missoula Justice Court yesterday before Judge Marie Anderson. Deputy County Attorney Caitlin Williams asked for $75,000 bond.
The state would request that bail be set in the amount of $75,000. In an entirely unprovoked attack, this defendant severely beat the victim, a woman whom he had just met, by punching her in the head and ribs, slamming her head into the floor and biting her, and he also threatened to kill her son.
After the attack, the victim was able to escape Hoskins' residence and then flagged down a vehicle on Highway 93 and was taken to the hospital, where she called the Missoula County Sheriff's Office. She positively identified Hoskins from a photograph, and deputies arrested him at his residence. Judge Anderson set bail at $75,000 and ordered Hoskins to appear again on December 27th. A Missoula hotel attempted to discover what was causing power outages and hot water shortages on Saturday morning when they found criminal activity going on behind the utility room. Missoula Police Public Information Officer Travis Welsh says the call came in from a hotel on Grant Creek Road.
A report of a male who had vandalized a utility room at a hotel located in the 5200 block of Grant Creek Road. The male had pulled things off of walls, had torn insulation off of piping and hot water heaters, and then in fact had turned off the hot water and power to other hotel guests.
It appears the man was attempting to be squatting in the utility room, and when hotel staff tried to confront him, he attacked them.
The hotel sent a maintenance man to try to research the problem, where he ran into the suspect in this utility room. The suspect, identified as Jeremy Hansen, 37, is said to have attacked the maintenance employee and then fled the hotel, running down a hallway wearing nothing but boxer shorts.
Missoula County Sheriff's deputies picked up Hansen in Frenchtown later that day, but haven't disclosed if he was still only wearing boxer shorts. Hansen's now in jail for aggravated burglary. He was in jail just last week on other charges, that he crashed his pickup truck into another Missoulian's motorcycle and then walked away from the scene. A captured fugitive is accused of dozens of federal firearms violations in Montana for allegedly exporting guns from the U.S. to customers in countries with restrictive gun laws. Authorities allege 37-year-old Eric Daniel Doyle concocted an elaborate scheme to use the internet to sell handguns to customers in Australia, Norway, Denmark, and Sweden. The weapons were shipped through the U.S. Postal Service. Doyle was indicted by a federal grand jury back in 2015, but eluded authorities for more than 2 years. He was captured in the Mexican state of Sonora on November 8th and is scheduled to appear today before U.S. Magistrate Judge Jeremiah Lynch for a detention hearing here in Montana. Doyle has pleaded not guilty to 44 gun violations and related crimes. 4 alleged accomplices were previously sentenced after striking plea deals with federal prosecutors. The 53 black and green and white U.S. flags flying in front of the Garden City Funeral Home in Missoula have left many commuters wondering what they represent. Ed Laskowski with the Rural Institute for Veterans Education and Research explains.
We put up a memorial to remind people of the veteran suicide and the crisis we're having here in Missoula. Missoula is the top suicide place in the state of Montana for veterans, and Montana's at the top of the states per capita.
The color of the flags is intentional, as is the number. The 53 flags are based on a morbidity study conducted in Montana over the past 2 years.
The flags are tactical with a green stripe on them. The green stripe denotes a Green Star family, which is a family that has had a veteran kill themselves. Out of 26 months, Missoula had 18 suicides, and in total, Montana had 53 suicides, so almost half of all the veteran suicides occurred in Missoula.
Laskowski says one of the best things people can do to help is to reach out and make contact with veterans. Wish them happy holidays. Make sure they know that there are people who support them. Car owners in Montana will pay a little more when it comes time to renew their vehicle registrations next year. The Montana Standard reports starting January 1st, a new statewide administrative fee of 3% will be applied to all portions of registration costs, except on the county option fee. State lawmakers increased registration fees during the last session in hopes of raising $25 million over the next 2 years to fund the Division of Motor Vehicles and the Montana Highway Patrol. An annual tax on luxury vehicles also kicks in January 1st. The tax adds an $825 fee to register newer vehicles valued at $150,000 or more. Owners of newer motorhomes valued at $300,000 or more will have an additional $800 fee. And Missoula Rises hosted a federal tax scheme press conference in downtown Missoula yesterday, featuring several speakers with one message: to protest the Republican-sponsored tax cut bill now before Congress. Allison Cobb, clinical psychologist and owner of 121 Psychotherapy here in Missoula, said the purpose of the press conference was to give people the individual impact that what they call the tax scam would have on the community.
By 2027, we're all going to have tax increases. Some of us are going to face tax increases next year, and it's not being sold that way. And Trump wants to jam it through so that he has a Christmas gift to give to Americans, which is a gimmick. And I don't think we should be setting economic policy based on one party's need for a legislative win.
Cobb said the issue is being rushed through Congress. Democrats would be willing to work with Republicans if more time were taken to debate the issue.
I would say that the Democrats would want to work with the Republicans on this. They're being shoved out. They're not given the time to go through this process properly. I mean, this is legislation that should be in the works for years, not weeks. It's being rushed through and jammed down our throats, and middle-class America does not need that.
Representatives from Missoula Rises will be appearing on Talkback next Wednesday, that's a week from tomorrow, to further discuss the tax cut bill and its ramifications. Our News Talk time now is 6:12.
News Talk, KGVO.
Missoula's official weather station. Valley inversions again today, and that means occasional flurries and a good deal of freezing fog. Daytime highs will be stuck in the mid-20s. Tonight, overnight lows will drop back into the teens. I'm meteorologist Brooke Foster for Missoula's KECI 13.